Buenas, buenas, mi gente. Welcome, bienvenidos to a new episode of Hablamos Spanglish. I am your host, Ana Carolina Salazar, and today I have an extraordinary story to share with you. I recently had the privilege of sitting down with my friend, mi amiga, and colleague, Rhaiza Robles, an inspiring woman with whom I had the pleasure of working with in the early stages of my professional career at Univision. Rhaiza was one of the first people to believe in me, in my talent, and what I could offer to the world. Rhaiza is the hardest working woman I know and has the biggest heart of anyone I ever met. She's originally from Puerto Rico, and she came to the US with her parents at the age of 8. And although it was challenging, she was able to adapt to a new culture and overcome her fears. Rhaiza worked hard to achieve her dreams, starting as an intern at Univision and working her way up the ladder. She has experienced numerous professional successes, including an Emmy nomination during her tenure at Univision. Today, Rhaiza is focusing on her family and continuing to achieve new milestones in her professional career. And like many creatives, she has faced impostor syndrome, but with the support of her family, she has been able to overcome these mental obstacles. I hope you find Rhaiza's story as inspiring as I did. She is truly a symbol of inspiration, teamwork, and a demonstration of true humanity. Así que mi gente, los invito a escuchar esta conversación con Rhaiza. Es hora de Hablamos Spanglish. Rhaiza, welcome to Hablamos Spanglish.
Yay, thank you. Es un honor estar aquí y acompañarte.
I'm so excited to have you here on set. You have been one of those person that have, I don't know, trusted me and since the beginning because you and I know each other since, oh my gosh, 10 years ago.
Yeah, more, I think.
Yeah, when we both started our professional careers
Yes.
at Univision.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, and you were that person that believed in me from the beginning, and I learned so much from you. And I was telling one of my team members that there are so many things that I owe to you. Que eres de verdad que inspiración para mí y estoy súper agradecida con todo, gracias.
Ay, muchas gracias.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Yay, I'm excited to be here.
So I want to start because you're a person that everybody needs to know Rhaiza's story because I know it as a friend, and I don't think the world knows who Rhaiza is and all the incredible accomplishment that you have had in your life, in your career. So I'm like, Rhaiza tiene que venir para acá. She has to tell her story. So tell us a little bit, where Rhaiza is from, right? And why did you migrate to the U.S. and a little bit about your story. Let's start from there.
Okay, bueno, yo soy Rhaiza. Nos mudamos acá cuando tenía 8 años. Mis padres se mudaron acá en busca de un mejor futuro. Right? They just wanted something better for us to open up the doors of opportunities. En Puerto Rico estábamos pasando un poquito de trabajo y dijimos, okay, nos vamos todos y vamos a empezar de nuevo. Entonces,
And how old were you?
8.
8.
Yeah. So fue un poco difícil al principio. Me tocó aprender inglés, como todos los que vienen para acá. Solo sabía los números con un acento bien fuerte y se reían cuando me tocaba decir las cosas en inglés en la clase, pero poco a poco fui aprendiendo y adaptándome acá. Y ahora pues digo que este es mi hogar porque conozco más acá que Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and at the beginning when you started, so you were just 8 years old when you came here. So you were saying that you the kids will make fun of you of your accent.
Yes.
So was it, how was it at the beginning?
It was horrible. I used to cry every day. I came here in the 3rd grade. We had to do the times table. It was one of my first things. I had to stand up in the front and say the times tables. And I was like 7, 14, and it was horrible. Everyone laughed. But little by little, you start learning and adapting to the culture, and it becomes who you are,
Yeah, yeah. And of course, in Puerto Rico, you guys are, you have, even though it's part of the U.S., you have your own culture,
You
and
do.
it's a very strong culture.
It's very different, yeah.
It's very different. I love it because it's very similar to Venezuela. And when I couldn't travel to Venezuela, we used to go to Puerto Rico. We went several times.
Yeah.
And I remember like, oh my gosh, this is El Caribe, it's like
culture.
very, very
fun.
similar to us. So I bet that even though, and I have had several Puerto Ricans guests here, and even though you don't go through a mejor, immigration process or things like that, is that culture shock because it's so different.
Oh yeah, it was a big difference for us. Yeah. A lot of people think it's the same thing. We're from the same place, and it was an easy move. It was not an easy move at all. We had to learn. And, in Puerto Rico, you have family. We had a business. We had a home. And we had to start from scratch. It was really hard for us. I wondered many times why my parents didn't go back.
Wow.
And now, as an adult and as a mother, I appreciate it. I'm glad that they didn't go back, but I wondered many times.
Yeah, because it's hard. It's hard. And then, you started your, you went to high school.
Yes.
And then, how was that? Your early school years here in the
it was good.
US.
This was home for me. I grew up here. I had all my friends here. I went to school here. I married my husband. That was my best friend from high school. So it was good. I loved being raised here, and I loved but we went to school in Orange County, which is a lot of diversity and friends from all over the world, and you learn from other people and culture and foods, and I love that. So I loved going to school here.
So did you adapted a lot of the American culture here? Like I know we have like we always talk about Thanksgiving and those holidays.
Yeah.
But what else do you think you incorporate into?
I think everything. I think my lifestyle, everything. I think I unfortunately lost a lot from my culture in Puerto Rico, besides just family members, but and Christmas, that's big amongst Hispanics. But other than that, I think I follow more the culture here in the United States.
The US, yeah, and the holidays and all that, right?
Everything.
Yeah. And Rhaiza, you and I met when we both work at Univision, right? But you were the person behind the scenes.
Yes.
Well, we both were.
I like being behind the scenes.
We both were. But, when I remember when I got my job at Univision, my dream was to do radio and TV and produce my own show.
Yes.
Do entertainment, because I came from that background because of my dad being a musician, and I fell in love with media. And I remember, when I got to Univision, one of the first persons that I met was you.
Yeah.
And you were the director,
news
right?
producer.
The news producer at Univision para las noticias, right?
Sí.
So how did Rhaiza, fell in love with media? How did you decided like I want to go to Univision? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, my love for media and TV started when I was a little kid. We had those TVs that were really big in the back. I don't know how to call them, but they had like little lines. I remember being a kid and wondering if the people that I saw on TV lived inside the TV.
Oh my God!
So I would look inside and say, "Oh, who's in there?" So my grandma took me to watch a live TV show in Puerto Rico. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was a kids show. And it was wonderful. And I always wondered how they did that, how they created that content to be able to go live and for people from all over the world to see, right? So that was something. And this was when I was like, I don't know, 6. Wow. So I've always wanted to work in TV. Growing up, I've always had that established in my mind. And then I wanted to go to Full Sail after high school.
Yeah, me too.
Unfortunately, my parents came here to work and to grow, and that was their main focus. So when I went by myself to Full Sail, I didn't know about scholarships, and I didn't know how I could afford it. So I just said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I started crying to my mom and saying, what am I going to do next? This is what I wanted. And it felt like a dream was crushed, right? So I don't know, my mom being the way that she is and her personality, if anyone knows her, she's out there and crazy. And so she was like, no, vamos a Telemundo ahora mismo. And I was like, Telemundo? I didn't even know where it was. And so we went in Telemundo, and at the time, I don't even know how they let us inside the studio, but we just went in, hi, and here's the studio, and they let us in the studio, and I saw people recording, and I wish I knew who the cameraman that I met was, because I work with many people in the industry, and I don't remember who that person was. Okay. I feel like it must have been an angel or something, but he walked in and he said, hey, si no puedes ir a Full Sail, vete a Orlando Technical Institute. Vas a aprender. Es todo hands-on. And I was like, hands-on, perfect. That's who I am. You know,
exactly. That was what I was going to tell you.
That's who you are. I'm more a hands-on person. I like to see and do and visual, see and do. So I went to Orlando Technical Institute, which was wonderful. One thing that I loved about them was that every semester you got certified with something, you know, studio assistant, studio producer, camera person, Final Cut Pro editor, whatever it was, I got certified. So when I went to Univision, I applied for an internship because I wanted to see how the job was actually, you know, in real life. I wasn't sure. And so I went, and Jorge Frigos gave me the opportunity, which was wonderful. I learned a lot there going in there. And I remember he asked me, what can you do here? And I said, I don't know, I can do whatever you need me to do. So I started there. I started archivando el noticiero Despierta Orlando. It was just like record and that's it, and put it away for, I don't know, in a tape. But little by little, I started growing within Univision, and I started learning how to do graphics and how to edit and how to, be a part of the newscast. And so eventually with time, I became the news producer for the 11 o'clock show. And I would do Breves de Latinoamérica there, which was voiceover about news about, our countries. And then I eventually with time became the senior news producer for the 6 o'clock show, which I think that was like my big learning experience. I learned there from so many amazing people in the industry.
Yeah, because when you were there were many, I would say, iconic for our Central Florida community, like, iconic reporters and presenters.
Polga Mache was a big, he taught me so much. Good and bad. You learn to work with different people. Camilo Diaz, other people. You learn to edit with them, and it was good. It was a big learning opportunity for me, and also I was able to start my own thing. Implement my own things into the show. So with that, I think like the biggest thing that I'm proud of doing there, besides learning and working with the community, was the special shows that we did. That we were nominated for Emmys with those. Yeah, it was one in the...
And that's huge. She doesn't say it, very often. So it's huge to be nominated for an Emmy for something that you created, that it was your idea. And
it was a very amazing, meaningful show because it was about Give Kids the World, which is a beautiful organization, and I believed in it. So it was beautiful to tell their story. So I really liked it.
Congratulations for that, because not everybody can say that they've been nominated for an Emmy. And I think it's also because of that beautiful heart of yours, because I remember like getting into Univision, and I was sales assistant, right? And I was excited because I was like, okay, I'm in.
You're in.
Now I have to work my way, right? So I remember that I wanted to, to do my TV show and the radio, and you were the one that helped me do my demo reel. Which that demo reel is, and maybe you can explain it better, but it's kind of your curriculum, your resume for TV
virtual,
and radio. It's video, it's showing what you can do, right? For both. And you helped me not only be in front of camera, but also edit. I learned to edit with you, do the news also. I will stay after my shift
really late to 11 o'clock at night, just to learn
just to learn. And I think, and that's why I say that when I started my, I went to Prospera afterwards with all the knowledge, and I was learning more marketing, because my background was PR and advertising, but I think I got the chance to learn from so many people at Univision, right? Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to do my show there.
Yeah.
But I created my own.
Yeah, you did your own thing. Yeah. I always say in the moment you don't understand why things happen, but then you pass through them and you're like, oh, no wonder. I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to stay there. I needed to grow on my own. And that's wonderful. And I love being a part of your journey and helping you learn and grow, even if it was in the beginning, because it was something. So when I started in Univision as an intern, I had someone like me, direct me, Natalia, and she was one thing that I loved about her was that she taught me. She wasn't a gatekeeper, She said, I'm going to teach you everything I know, and then you run with it, right?
That's how it's supposed to be.
I love that. Yes. So I always remember, I was like, wow, that's wonderful, because sometimes, especially in the TV, in the media, a lot of people compete with each other, and that's not who I wanted to be. And so I always thought, okay, I'm going to be just like she is. If someone needs my help, I'm going to help them, because it's not going to take away from me. It's going to be a team, right? We're going to help each other. They're going to grow. I'm going to grow. There's space for everybody,
Yes, it is.
So I always believed in that. So when you came for help, I was like, sure, let's do this. I like people that have initiative and wanted to try it, and you had that. So I was like excited to do it.
No, I'm so thankful and appreciative for that, because then I was able to apply all that when I started my business, right? I knew like how to do things that you will need several people to do just that, right? So, but going back to you, Rhaiza, did you encounter any challenges where you were, at Univision?
Yes.
Can you share a little bit of those challenges and how you maybe overcome those?
Yeah, a lot of them, actually. One of the biggest things was being raised here. I can express myself and write better in English than in Spanish. So I would write things for the news that wasn't correct, I would be corrected all the time, every day. That's wrong. You don't say things like that, So it was a big learning experience to be able to revise everyone's scripts and learn what's the right way to say things. And it's still a learning experience. I still feel like, and that's why I love here, because it's Hablamos Spanglish, and whatever comes out works. And that's good, because I grew up, Spanglish, So yeah, I think one of the biggest things was learning to express myself in the best possible way in Spanish, and to learn from others, and and the live, being a live newscast, that was a big deal for me when I started.
Oh my gosh.
I remember when Hugo Chavez passed away. That was a live newscast, and we were on air. I think I ate a whole bag of Hershey Kisses because we were writing the script as it was coming. So it's been a lot of challenges, but you learn from them.
I remember that moment when I learned the news. I immediately went up to the news department too. But I remember you guys working so hard, and many, I think you have the professional challenges of, learning, you were raised here, and even though you are from Puerto Rico, and I think your main language has always been English. So being on a Spanish TV station, but now I know why, because your mom took you to Telemundo. So
Telemundo. And then I ended up in Univision.
That's fun. Any fun anecdote that you remember, or it can be fun, or maybe something that you remember?
I had a very embarrassing moment in TV, in live TV, actually. In Spanish, there's a quote that's like, en el ojo de la tormenta. And it's when someone is being in the eye, right? Because they're in trouble and someone is looking at them, and they're in the spotlight, right? Okay. So at that time, there was actually a storm going on. So when the anchor said, en el ojo de la tormenta, I decided to edit the storm that we had and the images of the storm. So when he was saying, en el ojo de la tormenta está tal persona, there was a video of a hurricane.
Oh my God.
And he did not understand. And I was, 20 years old.
Of course.
Yeah. And he was like, what, why the storm video? And I said, because you said en el ojo de la tormenta, and there's a storm, and I put the eye of the hurricane.
Oh my God. That's
so I was 20 years old. So I definitely learned a lot.
Yeah. And you are, because you are with different, like, people from different cultures, and learning also the slangs from different countries. Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny. And any inspiring moment, or
Oh, there are so many. when the dream act happened. There's just so many videos of people that I heard, like their stories. There's just so many moments.
Yeah.
But I think the one Give Kids the World, that special show, was
Mm-hmm.
like very inspiring, because as a mother, I see it's just
Yeah.
a completely different perspective on how you see children, and that was really inspiring. And it's just like things that happened that I was able to edit and show to the community, and I thought that was fun.
Oh.
Yeah, they were all
Right.
inspiring.
Raisa, and you and I have talked a lot about the imposter syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that maybe as a woman and professionals, or maybe we didn't sometimes we didn't feel like we
Yeah.
fit, right?
Yeah,
And you and I
definitely.
had talked a lot about this, but
Mm-hmm.
can you share a little bit about your experience
Yeah.
regarding that topic?
Oh, well, I think I have imposter syndrome really big. I think mine started when I became a mom, because I left the field for a little while. I left TV and I focused on my kids for a little while. So I lost that touch. Well, I felt that I lost that touch of like creative and, con los tiempos que están cambiando y la tecnología y todo. I was like, I don't know nothing. I know how to raise kids, right?
No.
So I think I still feel it. And I think I see a lot of people now, with technology and how they can take courses in advance, or like even my son that's 12, that he can say, I can do your job, mom. Like, it's easy. You edit videos or you do this and that. I can do it. And he probably could. So I think I still have it within, like trying to learn what's new and what's up and coming, and if I'm not too old for the field, or
Mm.
if I'm learning the latest things. So
No, but you know that um, sometimes we need external people
mm-hmm.
to remind us,
Mm-hmm.
what we're capable of,
Yeah.
because that happens. I think everybody goes through the imposter syndrome, but we don't know how to manage it,
Yeah.
right? So, have you, had any external, I don't know, like mentors
Yeah.
or that have helped you overcome that, or how did you manage it?
Well, I have a really good support system.
Mm-hmm.
I think my husband is really good with helping me through hard moments. And then I think it shows with the work I do. I don't like to say it, and I might have doubts in what I do, but then when I see the results of the work that I do, it shows that I know what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'm in meetings and I have doubt whether I'm gonna say something out loud, and then I end up getting the courage to say it, and when I do, it was like the best idea.
Mm.
So I just have to. I think the support system that I have, and the work environment that I have, and the people encouraging me to continue doing what I'm doing, I think is always helpful. So, working on that and focusing on that,
Yeah.
and that when your work is acknowledged, I think that's when you realize, I know what I'm doing, I can keep on going.
No, that's that there are many people I know, because we come from different countries, different backgrounds. Here we
Mhm.
have to adapt, right? And also we might not end up doing what
Yeah.
we wanted to, right?
Yeah.
So, or we might feel like, for example, for me, accentism,
Yeah.
right,
Hmm.
was
Hmm.
huge.
Hmm.
Like I didn't, apply for the jobs, or
Hmm.
I felt like people were gonna look down on me, those
Hmm.
kind of things, and
Hmm.
that was all in my mind.
Hmm.
Because and I talked to you about that
Yeah.
as well. That once I got involved within the American community, because I didn't get
Yeah.
involved at an early age, it was after.
Hmm.
So, but that was me, who thinking also that who is gonna hire
Yeah. Having
somebody with an
self-doubt.
accent.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
you got the courage to do it.
no, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
I had to. It was like either you do it,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
gonna stay here. But I think my dreams were bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
you did things scared, but you did it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Como la frase.
Yeah.
It can sound cliche, but it's true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's how I managed to do it as well. Just continue doing things even when I have self-doubt. And just keep going.
And now you have two beautiful kids, and
Mhm.
you are married to a Venezuelan.
Yes.
So how does that work? Because your kids were born here,
Yes.
and then you have that Venezuelan mix. So
Mhm.
how is it at home?
Oh, yeah. Well, I love the Venezuelan culture. I have adapted a lot to it because I've been with my husband since I was very young. We got married at 22. So, for the holidays, I eat hallacas. Saturdays we make arepas for breakfast. That's just our culture, even more so than Puerto Rican,
Okay.
I mean, we do, I make my Puerto Rican dishes as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot. I still sometimes don't understand when the family tells me something in Spanish. I'm like, wait, what does that mean? I have no idea. Um, and then our kids too, teaching them has been a big thing. When we first started teaching my son to speak, he would say like, I don't know, like ventilador, and I would say abanico, or like
Uh-huh.
la poseta, and I had no idea what that was. He was like, Mama, la poseta, and I'm like, what? Where is the poseta? I have no idea. So it's been a lot of learning different cultures, and now I adapt to it. Now I'll say la poseta, el
Oh, wow.
pitillo, and it's
Exacto.
not my family from Puerto Rico are like, what are
And
you
now they are
saying?
like, what is
Yeah.
Rhaiza saying?
So yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a long time now. So
Oh my God. It is fun. It is fun learning about different cultures. And I
Mhm.
think that, that brings a unique value
Yes.
to our communities,
Mhm.
right? What's Rhaiza's, I don't know, maybe dream about our Hispanic community? Where do you see us, right?
Yeah.
Because we're growing a
Mhm.
lot here in the
Yeah.
US, and every day I see, wow, that, our community um, gets more multicultural. So
Yeah.
what is your wish,
Yeah.
for our immigrant community here in the
I love how diverse we are here in America, in the
mm-hmm.
United States. There's so many people from different places of the world, and I wish that that the people from here, the natives, would acknowledge that and see that we're not all from Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Puerto Ricans are, we were basically Americans, from
Yeah.
the United States, and so it's. I would like for them to see us with open arms and like to understand our culture and to like learn from us and our culture, our people, our dishes, and not see it as like, whoa, that's weird, we don't like that. It's okay. It's you have to be open to different people and what they like, and I think that's a big deal of like how you can learn from others, so I would like to see that more often,
Yeah.
not being excluded, but
Mm-hmm.
instead of like, how cool are they, I want to learn from them, and then the same way I would want to learn from
Yeah.
other people from different cultures.
And you're learning a lot right now where you are. You
Yes.
said that I recently said, that and to all my Hispanic community out there, I give this advice, right?
Yeah.
Just get involved, be practically the change that you want to see,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Get involved, and even though we might be the only Latino
Yeah.
in that room, and I think you're doing that.
Yes, I am right now. I'm in a place in my workplace. It's not many, not a lot of diversity yet. It's
Mm-hmm.
getting there,
Yeah.
and everyone is adapting to the changes, which is wonderful. And
Yeah.
they open up the doors of opportunities with open arms, and allowing us to work with them, and acknowledging our work, and it's wonderful, because they see us as a different. Like, wow, they bring something new to the table, which is wonderful. So yes, I would love to continue doing that.
Yeah, and you are doing such amazing things right now, with your work, and
Mhm.
is being recognized as
Yes.
well.
Hmm.
So, I commend you, because those are the type of things that we need to do,
Hmm.
show what we can do,
Yes.
right? Because that way they can see as well the impact that we are
Hmm.
making to our
Hmm.
community, and how we can see things in a different way and bring value,
Yes.
right?
Yes. 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 I think that's very important. Yes.
Raisa, so we have some questions,
Uh
right, that we
oh.
always ask at the end of the conversation. But it's been wonderful to have you here
Thank you.
and learn more from you and share your story, mostly with con todos los Latinos, and also our American community that is listening. But these are questions that, you can answer with the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
One is, what's your favorite sport?
I'm horrible with sports. I only watch soccer, football with my husband and my kids, but not really. I don't really follow any sports.
Do you play any sport?
No.
Nothing? Okay.
I pretend I play basketball with my kids.
Oh,
I don't
there
know
you
how
go.
to play.
There you go. Do you attend any games here locally?
We've been to Orlando City Soccer and the Orlando Magic. Yeah, just for fun as a family.
Yeah,
yes, of
fun.
course.
Yeah, that's great. What's a place that you would like to travel here in the U.S. that you haven't been to?
Colorado.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
go.
Vail.
Go. Right, baby. Go.
I'm excited.
Our producer here, we had the chance to go in July to Colorado, and we had an amazing time there with a nonprofit organization that helps Latinas, young Latinas in different areas. So it was a beautiful experience. You won't regret it.
I can't wait to
and
go.
then I know you can go. Well, for us, it was during the summer, which was beautiful, and you have a different type of experience. But during winter,
yes.
Also,
so I hear there's a place called Vail that looks like
and
Germany.
Winter, yes.
And I want to go see it.
I want to go see and experience it too.
Yeah.
And okay, next question: is there somebody that you would like to meet that that you admire?
I currently at the time I don't have anything, like I don't know. I think my focus is like my family right now, and I don't really watch TV or do too many things. But there was a time for a long while I was with the kids at home, I used to watch the Magnolia Joanna Gaines and Chip Gaines, and how they just started their business, and they did it initially because they had kids and they didn't want to work for other people, and they wanted to work for themselves, so they started doing DIYs, and I just loved their story. I read their books and I loved their story, and I love how they grew, and they basically like own half of the town in Waco, Texas. So I thought it was so cool.
Oh, wow. I have to see it. I've never
seen
it. It sounds inspiring.
Yeah, it is really inspiring. But I can't think of anyone else right now.
Okay. And Rhaiza, your favorite type of music?
I like the folklorico, like
Okay.
¿De
dónde? ¿De Puerto Rico?
From anywhere. I don't know, the Venezuela,
like traditional,
anything.
There you go.
and then even in English, like the Lumineers, which is so random for me. The only concert I went to recently, I just wanted to go to the Lumineers. There's all these people that came, and I was like, I want to see the Lumineers. And Natalia Lafourcade and people like that. I love that type of music.
Natalia Lafourcade. Yeah. Rhaiza, you know that Latinos, here we're usually, we are seen as people that need help, right? Because we start from zero. Yes, there are many Latinos that need help, and there are many nonprofit organizations doing an amazing job here, here in the U.S., providing that type of help for, it can be for our immigrant community, but different types like English classes or citizenship and things like that, or access to resources that maybe we don't know. But we are also big contributors, right, for our community. What does Rhaiza and her family do in the community?
Well, we do a lot of things. My husband has a lot of family that just moved here from Venezuela, so we help them all to file all their paperwork and to see where the help that is being offered for them, the resources that I didn't know growing up here that I didn't know were available. Just the offices where they can go apply for those helps, or scholarships, or schools, or just any resources. So we're really involved with family coming from different countries and how we can help them. And then I think the Hispanic culture, like our families still need helps with like filing paperwork or doing things like that. So we're really involved in that, at least with our family we are.
Because and that's part of it. I think when we talk about Latinos giving back, it always comes to that, helping our countries, helping our families, right?
And we want to get them all here.
We want to get them all here.
I mean,
and and help them do it the right way, and providing the help. So
and for them not to struggle as much as we did. That's the point, right? For them to be better and better other time.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you, Rhaiza. Gracias
you.
por haber venido. It's been, a pleasure having this conversation and sharing your story, mostly because I really wanted to do it for a long time. I'm super excited for you and everything that you're doing. Just believe in yourself. You're an amazing, incredible human person and professional, so keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. You too. You're doing amazing. Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias, mi gente. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey of Hablamos Spanglish. It is a pleasure for me to explore the diverse stories and experiences within our vibrant Hispanic community. I hope that you have found inspiration, connection, and a deeper appreciation for our culture and heritage. Remember, our stories are what unite us and what make us stronger. Stay tuned for more captivating episodes in the future, and don't forget to follow us on social media and share your thoughts with us. Hasta pronto.